The small town of Bellbrook had always worn its silence like a sacred shroud. Nestled between dark pines and forgotten roads, it was the kind of place where everyone knew each other's secrets, except for the ones buried deep enough to be dangerous. The church at the edge of town, St. Jude's, had stood longer than memory itself. By sundown, a full skeleton had been unearthed. No coffin, no markings. His hands shook as he told the press it must have been a burial site before the church was built. An innocent grave, he called it, but the townspeople didn't buy it. That church had always been cursed, they whispered. It began with the bells ringing at midnight, though no one touched the rope. Then the paintings inside the church began to fade, faces melting into dark smears, saints erased by unseen hands. A thick smell of iron lingered even after multiple cleanings. And people, ordinary people, began dreaming about her. A woman in a black habit, pale face, hollow eyes, standing at the edge of their beds, saying nothing, just staring. Even the birds avoided its rooftop. Winter came early that year, and snow blanketed Bellbrook in eerie silence. But the church stood untouched, half sunk in ice and shadow. The townspeople asked the diocese to demolish it, but they refused, said it was a historical site, said it deserved respect. They built a fence around it, planted signs that say, "Danger, unstable ground." But everyone knows the truth. No grass grows there. No animals go near it. And on quiet nights, some swear they still hear her singing. Soft, hollow, sad, a lullaby from beneath the soil. But no one respected it anymore. They feared it. And deep down, they knew the truth. Some things are buried for a reason. Ever since Sister Agnes disappeared in 1892, she was young, devout, and beloved, until one day she simply vanished. He kept repeating the same phrase. She never forgave us. She never forgave us. By the time the fire department arrived, St. Jude's was gone. Nothing remained but scorched earth and blackened stone. And in the center of it all, a hole, 6 feet wide, endless black. Not a single ember touched the ground around it, as if the fire had come from that hole, not above it. The fire chief said it looked more like a sinkhole than a burn pit. But when a teen tried to lower a camera into it, the cable snapped after just 10 feet. What they saw in those final frames has never been released. Only the chief saw it. He quit the next day and moved 3 states away. He was admitted to the hospital, but died that night. No wounds, no cause, just dead. Peaceful on the outside. But the nurses said the look on his face wasn't peace. It was terror. No trace, no goodbye. The church buried the story just like they buried her. A maintenance worker who snuck in dared to walk down to the altar. He was never seen again. His flashlight was found near the body's original resting place, still faintly glowing, half buried in dirt that hadn't been touched since the police left. No signs of forced entry. Just a single footprint bare, small, and soaked in what looked like blood. Just curled in a fetal position beneath the altar like a hidden shame. The body was small female, they guessed. Others believed she got pregnant, and the church punished her to preserve its image. At first, it was just darkness, jokes, and bravado. But then the sound cut out. The video went black. When it returned, only his phone was left spinning slowly in the grass. Tyler was gone. Days of searching turned up nothing. Not even a shoe. The only clue was what was found on his phone. A distorted voice, low and guttural, repeating the words, "Bury me again." A few claimed she knew something ancient and forbidden, and they silenced her before she could speak. But the one thing they all agreed on, whatever she was still here. Adult, the coroner said it was over 100 years old, maybe more, but that wasn't what made Bellbrook tremble. It was the chain wrapped around the neck. Rusted iron fused into the spine as if whoever buried her wanted to make sure she never got up again. Weather-worn and shadowed, its crooked steeple pierced the sky like a warning finger. Generations had been baptized under its rotting rafters. Some whispered the walls could talk. Others said they screamed. When the restoration team arrived in early October to fix the crumbling foundation, no one expected what they unearthed. It began innocently enough, scraping, lifting tiles, peeling back decades of dust and decay. But just 2 feet below the stone altar, the ground turned black. Not soil, not ash, something else. When they dug further, the smell hit first thick and sickening, like rotten meat soaked in damp earth. Then the bone emerged. A femur, long and old, but unmistakably human. The crew froze. No one said a word. One worker vomited. Another ran. The police were called, and the church was sealed off. Father Malcolm, the priest of St. Jude's for the past 35 years, insisted he knew nothing. Now, the past was exhumed. The investigation stalled quickly. No records, no DNA, just silence. But that's when things started happening. Father Malcolm was found in the confessional 3 days later, shivering and incoherent. The bishop ordered the church closed, but the damage was done. Townsfolk reported screams coming from inside the boarded-up chapel. Rumors spread fast. Some said she was a nun who was wrongfully accused of witchcraft. Local teens dared each other to spend a night near the church. Most chickened out. One didn't. His name was Tyler. He live-streamed it. No one dared go near St. Jude's after that. Then came the fire. It started without warning. No lightning. No candles. Just flames violent, ravenous, red as fresh blood. Today, Bellbrook pretends that spot doesn't exist. They found a body buried beneath the church, but they never should have moved it.